Welcome to the show, everybody. Show that never ends. So I'm looking at the Meteor Crater. I think I'm going to do a report every day on the progress of the Meteor Crater. Today, there's not much happening. There's a few guys walking around. But you know what? I got to tell you something that I noticed that's got to change right away. So if anybody's listening out there from City Council or City Hall, come on, we got to get smarter here. This isn't right. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from 4680Q in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, as we make it into finally Friday, right after Bullshite Thursday. That was quite a show yesterday. If you didn't tune in, go back in the archives in YouTube and watch the show yesterday. It'll give you a good laugh, if nothing else. Okay, so we're going to get into the show here. Geez, it was a chilly willy this morning. Holy crap. And the barometer's dropping. I don't know if we're going to be in for some bad weather because it looks beautiful out there today, but this morning it rained, which was, I didn't expect that at all with the barometer the way it was, but it's getting warmer out there, still below 50. Got my hat on. That's your temperature guide right there. But we might be headed into the 50s today. It's pretty nice out there, to be honest with you. I don't know what the weather's going to do later on. The one thing is, though, that we know is that winter is coming. We can't sidestep it. It's going to happen. I mean, to me, I wouldn't care if we got nothing until March. We got started getting good weather. We don't need anything, but we're going to get it. And in that regard, your best bet is to get you into one of our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Get your car checked out. Let Ken Hunter give it the once over. Make sure it's running tip top. You want it running tip top, especially when the winter hits. It's miserable to be stuck on the side of the road with a broken down car. You don't want that. Ken's going to put it on all his diagnostic equipment, fix any error codes, make sure your winter tires are on, make sure your brakes are good, your heater's working, your defroster's working, your coolant. It's got the right mix of water and coolant in it so that your car don't freeze in the winter. He's going to do it all and keep you safe during the winter. You're going to have a good time, even though the weather may not be to your liking. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop by the Kia dealership on Oakwood Drive. Hey, just go to their website, wildbillsauto.ca. Check it out. Make an appointment. Get in there. Be proactive. Don't be stuck on the side of the road like some chamoke. Take a proactive approach to these. And then while you're in there at this website, wildbillsauto.ca, don't forget to slide over to my YouTube channel, Paul Lemire 4793. That's what it is. Or you can just go to Your City, Your Voice and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Leave comments, thumbs up. Do the whole shot. You'll get notifications when I drop a video. And you can participate in this march towards an election next year. That's what's happening. There's an election next year, and we have a capital budget meeting next week. They're working with your money. You should know what they're doing with your money. If you're not interested, that's fine, but you should be. I mean, if you're not interested in what they're doing with your money, throw a couple thousand this way. Why not? I can spend it as good as anybody else. Come on, subscribe, get in there, get involved. At least know what's going on if you don't want to get involved. So, we have two other sponsors coming up, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamel Machine Company. I'll get to them later in the show. But first off, I want to get into to the actual capital budget. That's what I'm going to be doing today, reviewing the first 230 pages. I already went through them this week. Today, I'm going to do the last 100 pages of the capital budget. Monday, we're going to have Dave Wheeler in here talking about it a little bit more, looking if we can find some savings. And then the meeting is on Tuesday, and we'll see what they're going to do with your money. Now, before I get to that, right, I've got a little beef with the city here, and I don't understand what's going on. So we have to get somebody over here, because the fencing they got around the meteor crater, I never noticed it yesterday. The fencing comes right out to the edge of the sidewalk. If somebody wants to walk down the sidewalk, they've got to actually go on the road. And this road isn't wide when they have parking on the sides here. I mean, I wouldn't want seniors or anybody walking to have to walk on the road to get around it. All they have to do is move the fence into the inside of the sidewalk, and there's lots of room to walk. So they got to get somebody down here. They got to take a section out. They've got to move it in because it's blocking the sidewalk, and that's not fair to pedestrians that are walking. That's my beef right now. I never noticed it yesterday. I saw it today. A couple other people pointed it out to me. If anybody's listening from city council or from the city to the show, come on, get somebody down here, get that fixed. That's not right. They're going to build, that's fine, but don't block the sidewalks. Holy man, if somebody was parked up there with their car, they'd get a ticket immediately. They got the whole sidewalk blocked off. That's my rant about the fence for today. Okay, so I told someone this morning I heard the scow shifted. I told the guy, the scow shifted. And he goes, no, she hasn't. She's still asleep. Okay, well, there you go. You never know. But the truth is, the old scow in the Niagara River did shift. It's been there for over 100 years. It rolled forward. It's going down the river, and eventually it's going to go right over the falls. It'll be at the base of the falls. I don't know how it's shifting. I mean, the thing's stuck on rocket's metal, but it is somehow. And if you look at the river, there's a picture of it. There's no water there to shift anything. These power guys have sucked the river dry. I'm surprised the Niagara Falls isn't like a trickle going over there. But the rusty old scow is so long. Been nice knowing you, scow. You're going for a ride. Okay, let's move on and do a quick review of the first 230 pages. We'll just go through it real fast. I'm not going to do it. I already did basically a show on it, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much. I'm just going to run through it real quick so you can look at it. The first 100 pages was pretty crazy. We saw an extra, let's see, a wrap up of that. We saw an extra $12.7 million being spent in 2025 over and above what was approved. Where'd that money go? We had $12.7 million we spent over and above what we approved. How? They raised our taxes. We weren't supposed to have the money. That's why they raised our taxes. But they found $12.5 million. $8.9 million allocated to vehicles and equipment. Do we want this or need it? $75,000 allocated to the CAO's office to explore possibilities with the meteor crater. Where's that money? I'm going to mark that down. $750,000 right there. That's money that we should have in our pockets. It's already been decided what's going on with the meteor crater. We partnered up with a group. They're developing it. I was at the planning meeting. That $750,000 should be taken out of the capital budget immediately. It's already a done deal. They've got fencing up. They're starting to get in there and they're going to dig. They're going to have a groundbreaking ceremony in a week. Not even a week, 3 or 4 days. So why the heck are we paying $750,000 to the CAO's office? That's got to come out. More money being spent on the exchange. We don't need to spend that money. That's a waste. $2.1 million allocated for information systems. We've already spent millions on. And they have to hire more staff to run it. Why? Why do we put systems in we don't have staff to run? Hardware replacement, $400,000, 50 computers, 60 laptops, 20 tablets, 40 monitors, 10 wireless access points, 50 smartphones, 6 displays at various locations around the city. Someone questioned this $400,000. Come on. Does all this have to be done at once? 50 computers, 60 laptops? Are you kidding me? Hey, why don't they give them out to taxpayers, have a raffle and give them out to people? They're probably still good. These guys just buy stuff. $3.2 million allocated for fleet replacement. That brings that to about $20 million over the last 3 years. $4.2 million for EV charging stations. 36 stations, $4.2 million. Come on. That's ridiculous. I mean, there's a few million that can be saved in the first 100 pages alone if our city council says anything. They're contemplating a 6% increase. We can make that zero right in the first 100 pages. Now, the second 130 pages, oh boy, we make our way through this budget. We had page 101, municipal works, spending $7 million in the 2026 budget. 57 million in the 2026 budget they want. Only 17 million next year. Can't they blend it some way where we pay 34.5 million or 37 million every 2 years rather than all at once this year? Blend her up. Bring it down. That'll save us about 20 million. Page 106, 380,000 extra needed to purchase land for land acquisitions for the new hospital. What land? What land? Come on, we already spent 11 million on land, extra land we needed. We got ripped off for that. And that's in addition to 660,000 they already spent. So now we're up at $1 million extra. I'm not arguing the need. If we need it, we need it. What I want to know is why we need it when we spent 11 million already. Who's got the land? Who are we buying it from? City councilors, this is on your plate. Pages 107 to 200 are all municipal works projects. And I'm sure in those 193 pages, I'm sure those 93 pages, sorry, 93 pages, they could find a few $1 million to help offset our taxes this year. Oh, let's see. I think we can do something there. If city councilors decide to question anything, we'll see. I'll give you an example. Page 201, $400,000 for a side pack garbage truck. Nice to have. We don't need it. There's another 500 or 400,000 saved. And page 202 is an interesting request for $3.28 million for the 2026 annual fleet replacement, which includes a whack of crap. Now, we already spent $14 million in the 2024 budget, $2.26 million 2025 budget. That's $15 million, and now another $3 million. What are they spending it on? $20 million over the last 3 years? Come on, give me a break. Should be able to save something there if anybody does their job. Another $9.8 million of the estimated $14 million of OLG funds was used for capital budget. I mean, $3.5 million of that could be used to offset our taxes and bring them down to zero. They'd still have $5 million to blow. Oh, they're going to buy 18 vehicles, 2 marine units, 13 light medium duty vehicles, 3 heavy duty vehicles. That's what they're buying. 8 pieces of equipment, 2 zero-turn lawnmowers, 2 3-inch pumps, 2 sidewalk plows, Sanders, a forklift, and a Zamboni, and a pear tree. Well, Merry Christmas. They're spending our money like a drunken elf. Not much equipment for $3.25 million there, huh? Do we need them? Who knows? These are just things I'm picking out. If you can't find $3.54 million out of all this, there's a problem. Page 205, still in municipal works, new fleet roadside professional brush cutter, $578,000. Do we need that? Oh, it'd be beautiful to have. It'd be beautiful if I had a Rolls Royce. Do we need it? Somebody's got to say no. We got to say no eventually. Who's going to say no? Anybody out there? Oh, well. I mean, we've been doing professional brush cutting for years now. All of a sudden, we need a $600,000 piece of equipment. Hey, if they're going to lay people off, hey, we can save 10 people at $60,000 a year because of these machines they're buying. Okay, there's your 600 grand. But I can guarantee you they're not. They're not saving a dime. Those people are still going to have jobs. Union won't let them get rid of them. So, no, don't need it. 207 semi-autonomous athletic line painting unit for $77,000. No. Staff walks down the lines with lime or spray paints and whatever they do these days. We don't need that. City workers actually have a job to do that. Let them do their job. That's what they get paid for. The automated one, it's going to lay people off. Page 221, $4.3 million for the EV charging stations. I already talked about that. We got to look into that. Cut that in half. We don't need that many right away. $120,000 a charger. Give me a break. They're $10,000 to $15,000 from what I researched. Where are they paying $120,000 per? They say we had grants. I don't care if grants are available or not. It's going to cost us something. We don't want to spend it. Hey, come on. That was it for the second 130 pages. We'll probably find another 5 million there. Hey, we're on track here. We should be getting money back if everything goes right, but it won't. It won't. So let's move on to the last 100 pages and see what else I can find here. I think I found about 3 or 4 or 5 million already, maybe more. I wonder if City Council will go through it page by page. I know Councilor Lococo will, because I've had questions about this as it is, and she answered them. So she must have went through the pages and saw what I was talking about. I don't know if anybody else did or if they will. We'll find out Tuesday night when this comes up, and if nobody has questions like last year, I would say they probably didn't go through it. Last year, out of 8 counselors, we had Lori Lococo with a grid with all savings. Mona Patel said to send it back to staff, which means nothing's going to happen because staff made this budget. This is what they believe we need. So why would they be cutting anything? We send it back to staff. And Ruth Van Nieuwesteeg, Councillor Van Nieuwesteeg, she wanted to cut $50,000 off the firefighters' $27 million budget. 50 grand. I mean, come on. Please. 205, page 205, still in municipal works. New fleet roadside professional brush cutter. We talked about that, $578,000. Oh, page 207. We're on there. We've already been through this. Where am I? What am I doing? Did I lose my way here? I lost my way for a minute. Okay, let's move on to page 237. Artificial intelligence for building and zoning. $1 million. This doesn't really bother me. It normally wouldn't, because the faster things are fast-tracked, the more money saved, but we know this is never the case. It appears that the rollout will have to include 3 contract positions for a year, a software analyst, an IT expert, 5 Sunshine List employees with benefits for a year. That's what's going to cost the city for this $1 million. I guarantee they're going to stay on, even though they're budgeted for $1 million for 1 year. I mean, we've hired 70 people in the last year or two. We've hired like crazy. Why do we keep hiring? And money is being pulled from the OLG fund to pay for it. Why? I want to hear a lot of whys at that city council meeting. Why are we spending this? Why do we need this? Who says we need this? Page 243, planning and building, $500,000 to hire a consultant and temporary full-time employee to modernize the city's urban design guidelines. Do we really need this right now? It adds almost 1% to the tax bill. I mean, do we need this? Is this something we really, really need? Somebody to modernize, a consultant and temporary full-time employee to modernize the urban design guidelines? Once again, tap the OLG fund for $310,000. You wonder where it's going? You wonder where the money went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent? Page 247, Building Faster Fund Investment Plan. Another $1.225 million poured into the meteor crater, which brings the total in the capital budget to $2 million. And that's in addition to the $2 to $3 million already spent to remediate it and everything. I mean, we're into this thing for $4 or $5 million now. I mean, somebody's got to look into this meteor crater to see what's going on here. I mean, I'd want to know a lot more before I committed another $1.25 million to the project. Yeah, I mean, this money's just what is this? Building Faster Fund Investment Plan. So, I mean, these are the questions that somebody's got to ask because nobody understands what they are. I don't know what the heck that is, but they're spending 1.225 million, which is about a point and a half on their taxes for it. Now, page 257, a summary of requests from the Recreation and Culture departments. The biggest expenditure, 4 million for the new Chippewa Arena development design build phase 1. $945,000 was already committed to this in the 2025 budget, so we are now at 5 million towards designing the new arena. I don't know. See, this is the thing. We know it's going to get built. Nobody really knows what they're going to build because they couldn't make a decision at city council. There was 3 different options. One at around 80 million, one at 50 million, and one at 35 million. Of course, city council says everybody wanted the $80 million one. Well, that's nice. We had the money. That's great. We don't have the money, so we're going to have to do a cheaper one. But they're spending money on it. There's 5 million gone already. So God bless Chippewa. They need a new arena there. That old decrepit building that's been there for 50 years. It's just a matter of what they're going to build there, but there's 5 million already dumped into it. And the department is looking for 7 million total. So let's look through it. Page 280. City Hall repairs, $597,000. Now, in 2025, last year, there was $301,000 spent in repairs at City Hall. It was closed for 2 months this summer. And why are we asking for more money in 2026? Whatever they did there, they closed it down for 2 months. Why wouldn't they do the other repairs that they budgeted $597,000, almost $600,000 for while they were doing them? Wouldn't it make sense to do it all at once while they got it shut down? They're talking about lobby repairs, ceiling tiles. I don't know. Didn't they know the ceiling tiles were stained when they did the other work? I don't know. I just find that request weird. I don't get it. But there it is. Another $600,000. Page 299, $104,000 to update a report regarding recreation, culture, and park 10-year plan. Hold it. They make a plan for 10 years, and 4 years into the plan, they need $104,000 to update it. Why? What? Why do you need that money? So you start adding these little 104,000s, 585,000s, 600,000s up. You start adding them up, and all of a sudden we're in millions. And millions is what it's going to take to save to get us at a zero budget. And when we say zero budget, city councilors, they make it sound like it's a dirty word. Zero-based budget. Inflation is running at 2%. It's impossible to have a zero budget. No. Your goal should be to balance the budget. You have to understand, people. A balanced budget is a zero budget. Now, zero sounds outrageous. Oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. Inflation and here comes the bullshit. But the bottom line is, we do expect them to run a balanced budget. In other words, here's this much money, spend within your means. That's what we do at home. They call it a zero budget because it sounds terrible. Inflation's running at 2%. It's impossible for us to run a zero budget. We're going to have to cut services. Your kids aren't going to skate this winter. Have to close down the arenas. No. You're not going to have to close down anything. What you're going to have to do is find a way to balance the budget, which is what we have to do at home. which is what we hired you to do, to run a balanced budget, not to run a deficit every year and tap into taxpayers. Fitzcarraldo runs hotels. He's run hotels before. He runs restaurants. He knows that if he loses 6% one year, he's going to have to take some steps to make sure he doesn't run a 6% deficit again. He's going to run a balanced budget, and he's going to find ways to do it. But see, these guys don't have to, because when they fall behind, they lean on us. And nobody forces them to run a balanced budget. And you may say, I'm nuts, that's impossible, inflation and this and that. It's possible. People do it. Yeah, they might have to go without a pizza every week for a year. But they might not be able to buy that new car this year. That's just the way life goes. And we expect the same from our counselors. So don't let them off the hook. Do not let them off the hook because they told you it's impossible to run a zero-based budget. What we're really asking them to do is run a balanced budget. Hey, and if they can't do it, then next election, we find people who can. And if they demand staff do it, and staff can't do it, then we find staff that can. Page 321. Decorative lighting at the Waitman Bridge, $600,000. You know, I love Chippewa. I would do anything for Chippewa. But I won't do that. Listen, we're in tough times. $600,000 represents almost 1 point in our taxes. Not at this time. This is not this. No. Got to delay it or find funding for it somewhere else. It's not affordable at this time. I mean, come on. Sure, it looks nice. The Waitman Bridge lit up. Oh boy, it's beautiful. But $600,000 out of our pockets. Do we have no guardians of our money? Are there no watchdogs on city council? Page 325. We're getting to the end. $35,000 for a cricket practice facility. No. People that want it, let them build it. We shouldn't be on the hook for this. No. Out. Not a chance. Oh. I got a few more items here, but I got to do my second sponsor before I get to them. Now you can see how easy it is to save $3.5 million. It's not a big deal. Or to $78 million, and they still have $73 million to blow. $74 million, $75 million almost to blow. All they have to do is save $3.5 million for us, the taxpayers, so we get a zero increase. They balance our budget. Gabish? Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Guess what? You want a good pizza? I'm not even going to fool around. These guys know how to make a pizza, and they do it consistently. How? They use the Mancini family recipe, been around for 40 years, tried and true, delicious. And then they take a blend of mozzarella and brick cheese, put it on the crust and the sauce in the right ratio, cook it up to perfection, throw fresh ingredients, fresh toppings on it. Listen, how can you go wrong? That pizza's coming out fantastic every time. It's just the way it is. They've got it down to a science. It's consistent, and that's what you want in a pizza. You don't want good one day, bad the next. You never know what you're going to get. I've taken pizzas and tossed them because they're terrible. The second time, I went the first time, and I got the second one because the first time was so good. You won't have that problem with Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They're very, very good. So what did they do? They opened another one on the corner of Thoroldstone and Kaler Road, northwest part of the city. Why? Because they want people out there to enjoy their great pizzas. Now you can get their pizza at 2 locations in Niagara Falls. Don't wait. Tonight is pizza night. You know you want a pizza? Give them a call, 905-374-2222. You can't go wrong with Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Go to their website, petespizzavictoria.ca. You can see all that they offer. They have wings, they have panzerotti, they have poutine, steak and cheese poutine, steak subs, chicken parm sandwiches. They run the gamut of food. You're not going to go wrong. They're open till 2 in the morning for your convenience at both locations on Friday and Saturday. And they're open till midnight during the week. How can you beat it? How can you beat it? Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Give them a call today. They use Dine. They use Skip, all the different services. Hey, get your pizza. Why wouldn't you? I don't understand why you wouldn't. Try Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You're not going to be disappointed, believe me. And thank you for supporting our sponsors. Thank you for supporting the show. They're great small businesses in the city. We want to support them, and they're good corporate citizens. Okay, page 327, $60,000 to install a ramp and automatic doors at the McBain Center. They want to put it around back. I mean, they already have a ramp and everything in the front of the building. What do we need another one for? I don't know. But they want to spend $60,000 on it. I mean, they have access to the front of the building, no problem. Why do they want all of a sudden another $60,000 to have access to the back? I don't know. Somebody should ask the question. I mean, you go in the front door like everybody else. That's where you go in. Page 329. Oh, there's only 330 pages, so I'm almost there. New gym equipment at Station 1. Yep, they want to replace the gym equipment at Fire Station number 1 on Morrison Street. I mean, I didn't see a number here. I didn't write down a number. I'm not sure what they're going to spend. I don't know. But I got to say, I mean, they have a gym in there for everybody. But I think there's a great gym at City Hall for all the employees, too. So how are you going to say no to the fire people? I mean, I'd say most of the firefighters are probably members at private gyms in the city. I mean, they have enough time to go. They have enough days off to go and everything. So they put the gym in. They're going to be able to replace all the gym stuff I mean, how often does gym stuff break down or need replacing? You only got the firefighters there using it. It's not like, they got 2,000 members that are coming in, in and out all day, every day. Another request. It would be another no for me. I don't know. I haven't seen the equipment. I'd have to go see the equipment. If it's rattered and tattered, yeah, replace it. I mean, it's probably better off if you just pay for a gym membership for them. I guess they got 24-hour shifts. They got all kinds of times to go work out, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's the last one. I'm not going to argue that one too much. I pick and choose your battles. But that, my friends, is that. Overall, of 330 pages I looked through, not a bad budget. Not a bad budget. They're tackling a lot of the problems we have. We know in the city our infrastructure is crap. It's old. It needs replacing. We've seen the roads that need replacing. There's lots of them in the city. Some of the worst roads in Canada are in Niagara Falls. We see them every day. But still, there is room to find efficiencies that can mitigate any tax increase for citizens. I mean, let the departments get what they need out of the budget. There's no problem there. Let them get what they need, not what they want, what they need. And we probably can find $4 to $5 million of savings on these 330 pages. If anybody looks, anybody questions, and people are willing to say no on our city council, some of this stuff, not no forever, just no when we have the money. So if you want a brush cutter, well, we'll do that next year. You want that side compact garbage truck, we'll do that the year after. We just have to move these things. And, you'll hear city councilors, Mona Patel especially says this, is kicking things down the road. This is a favorite saying. But is a a side load trash compactor really kicking anything down the road? We're already doing without it. Is it kicking it down the road, or is it just wants over needs? And the same with the brush cutter, the side brush cutter, where it's got 600,000. Do we really need that in 2026? Kicking things down the road is like the jawbreaker. We don't want to kick that down the road. That road is dangerous. It's a safety hazard. That's the things we don't want to kick down the road. The must do's, the needs, but the wants. I want everything. I want a Rolls Royce. You guys, everybody that watches throws in $2,000. I might be able to afford one. Well, maybe not. maybe a 20-year-old one. But the idea is that do we really need this? Who makes those decisions? Because department heads are going to ask for the world. They know they're not going to get everything, so they ask for the world, and then if they get half of that, they're happy. But city council never says no. Last year they approved the budget, hands up, they never saved a dime. And then they had $12.7 million left over. I mean, that money could have been used to balance the budget. It was money they weren't supposed to have, and they jumped us by 5%. So, people, you have to tune into what the game is here. And at the end of the day, when the game's over, we pick up the tab. That's how simple it is for them. That's how simple it is for them. And that's why they play with the numbers and move from this fund to that fund. And you hear Victor Peterangelo standing up and telling us that the $17 million or whatever the hell it is, the NS&T trail, well, 90% of it's paid for by development charges. Well, those development charges can be used for the library and the roads and a lot of different things. And when that money's taken out of that pool for the NS&T trail we don't need, we are deficit somewhere else. So his baloney it does come from the taxpayers. Money that comes into the city from anywhere, development charges, taxes, is our money. We're the city. Not Victor Peterangelo, not Jim Diodati, not any of the councilors. It's us. If they pay taxes, they're part of us. So don't tell me that when you take money out of any pool, that it doesn't come from taxpayer money. That's baloney, and it's gaslighting. And they should be ashamed of themselves for saying stuff like that. And then he says only 10%. Also, 10% is $2 million. Hey, that comes out of our money. $2 million is 3 points on the tax bill. So come on. I get tired of the baloney. This gaslighting. It's got to stop. Got to have transparency of what's really going on. So when I go through this budget, I gave you the lowdown here, but there's places I could be wrong. I'm going to admit that because I don't have all the information that city councils have. I don't have access to the squirrel. I don't have access to the penguin. I don't have access to these people to be able to drill down and find out more. I can only go by what they show the public, what they show us. So you can see it. If you read through it, you will see it. If you waste your time. I know for me, it's not a waste of time. I like it, but for you, it might be. I don't know. But you can see it, and we can balance the budget if the will is there. But the will's got to be there. The will has to be there. The will isn't there, we're never going to do it. If it's impossible, that's what they're told, and they believe. Well, yeah, we're never going to do it. I mean, if you think you're going to fail, you will. If you think you're going to succeed, you will too, right? There's a lot we don't need in there. So let's see what comes up on November 25th, next Tuesday. You can see the savings there. We can save a lot of money here and probably get that tax increase down to zero if we really try. But even if we get our tax increase down to zero, our city council does their job. We got another problem with the region because they're in trouble over there. They're looking at they want a 10% increase, even though it was capped off at 3.5%. So no matter if we get ours down to zero, we're still going to get an increase from the region, no matter what. So ours adds on to that, but we can mitigate that large increase by making sure ours is balanced and in line. So we'll see what the city councilors come up with to save taxpayers money if they're doing their job. We'll see next Tuesday. The results will be the judge. And if they raise it again after their 3 years of being in charge of the budget, they've raised it every year for a total of 4.9, 7.9, and 4.9. A catch-up budget, and then 2 5%ers. That's 10 and 18% compounded, 20%. That's what they said. They said that the taxes were their main concern when they sat in here and talked to me about getting elected again. And we'll see what these guys do. I mean, they're supposed to be watching taxes and watching crime and watching housing, homelessness and stuff. And we've seen taxes go up more than I've ever seen them. We've seen homelessness at epidemic proportions, and we've seen crime out of control. So there you go. There you go. So let's stay tuned next Tuesday to that meeting and see what happens. I'm going to do a little commentary after I get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And you know, Hamel Machine's been around since 1948, serving industry large and small in Niagara Falls, the food industry, the wine industry, the agricultural product hydroponic industry. And every time they work with these corporations, they improve upon what they're already doing. They send their inventions, their innovations all over the world. They ship their products all over the world that they've made for these industries to help them produce more. When they go there to fix a machine, they don't just fix it, they try to make it better. They have the technicians, they have the IT people, they have the engineers, they have everybody there, the designers that they need, 3D printers, water jet cutters, jet water cutters. They've got it all there, all the most modern equipment. And that's what they do. And they've been doing it in Niagara Falls since 1948 for industry. That's why industry turns to them, the city turns to them, the region turns to them, and private citizens turn to them. You got anything you need fabricated, milled, machined, designed, they can do it. They can fix it all for you. Right here, right over here on Bridge Street and on Kent Street. They've been here since 1948. I don't know if you know about them, but if you have any problems with metal, anything you need fixed, design, 3D printed, whatever you need, they can do. Right over here. Hamel Machine Company since 1948. Give them a call today. Your snowblower hits something and shears the pin. Hey, they'll fix it for you. They can fix whatever you need fixed. Hamel Machine Company, support our sponsors. They're great corporate citizens. Send stuff around the world. That's what they are. They're worldwide. And they still are here to help us, private citizens in Niagara Falls. How about that? What a crew they have. They're fantastic people. You'll be happy when you talk to them. Okay, my commentary after going through this capital budget, spending hours and hours to 330 pages of it, is we can have better roads. We can have a clean city. We can have a crime-free city if our council would just sit the hell down and make it happen. They make the decisions on our behalf. That's all it takes. That's how simple it is. Now, I know people, especially staff and counselors and the ones in the brotherhood, always take the easy way out. They go along to get along. But before the taxpayers put the onus on council to do just that, to protect our money, our hard-earned tax dollars, our job as taxpayers is to elect the right people. We want the right people on city council to be guardians of our money. They work for we the people, not big business, not staff, not anyone except we, the people. And people have to start to understand that and demand better from them. Demand that they take an interest, that they read this budget, that they go through it, and they find efficiencies. That's what we pay them for. Staff isn't going to do that. They come up with a budget and they give it to the mayor, and he gives it to council. This is what they need, they say, to operate. So it's up to council to find ways to mitigate the budget they hand down for us. They're our representatives. They've been there 3 years. They should know what the taxpayers want by this time. They have 3 years experience under their belt. Most of them have 20 years experience under their belt. We expect more. And whether they believe we have the right to or not, we have the right to. So don't let them gaslight you. We have a great city with great people. We just have a council that either will not or cannot meet our expectations. And with that, I say amen. And I await Tuesday's capital budget meeting. I'll be tuned in, and I'll be back on the Thursday after Wednesday, the Absolutely Show, to talk about exactly what happened. Now, before we get off the capital budget, we have the parking budget. And that's going to be discussed on Tuesday night as well. And the parking budget is difficult to understand since it gives us the projected budget for 2025, because 2025 isn't over yet. So we don't have all the numbers for 25 until January. Whoops, I'm going to break my beautiful $2 watch. Until January. That our fiscal year runs from January 1st to December 31st. So we won't get Q4, fourth quarter results until January from the parking. So the budget for 2025 and the projected budget, because remember, the capital budget, the operating budget, and the parking budget, they're all predictions. They are predicting what they're going to need. They don't know the actual numbers until it happens. So 78 million is what they think we need. It's not what we really need, because they thought we needed 55 million last year, and we ended up needing 43 million because they had $12.7 million left over. So whatever the numbers are, they're just projections. They're not reality. Reality is when it happens. So the numbers are virtually the same for 2025, 26, and it looks like we lost $250,000 per fiscal year. So you can see the entry on page 1 under internal transfers, which are monies brought in under revenue to balance the parking budget. So, I mean, this is really kind of a useless exercise that we're looking at for 2025 and 2026 because we don't have the real numbers. I thought we were ahead of the game when I looked at the numbers after second quarter, third quarter. We looked like we were ahead of the game, but now the report says we're going to be $250,000 behind. So it strikes me as odd and a pretty odd way to do it, but that's what we're looking at. If we're in a positive situation at the end of the fiscal year, where's that money and where does it go? Because we're projecting right now a loss. I mean, it's costing us about 0.3% of our tax base, our tax that we pay, to transfer it into the balance so that we balance the parking budget. Once again, these creative accounting situations cost us money we don't necessarily need to spend. But see, they make the budget without the actuals. So when they say they're going to lose $250,000, they got to transfer $250,000 in and tack it onto our tax bill. Gabish? Even though we may not need it. They do the same thing with the casino money. They estimate it at 14 million when they know damn well it's going to be 20 million. And then they show a deficit, and then they want us to pick up the tab. This is the way they do things. And if you looked at that 2024 budget to actual variance, if anybody bothered to look at it, not one city councilor mentioned it, you would see the mindset, the way this city staff works. You understand the psychology of the way they work. If nothing else, if you read that, you'll understand how it works. And if you read it for the last 3 years, you'll get it. The numbers, they're there. We can't change them. 2024 has gone by. That's audited. But we can get the idea of what they do and how they operate. Like the $40 million we got from the Niagara Regional Broadband sale. Now, people can dispute that, but all of a sudden we had revenue of $40 million in that actual the budget to variance for 2024. Where'd it come from? Where did all of a sudden we get a windfall of $40 million? It's only one place: the sale of Niagara Regional Broadband. And nobody ever told us what we got for it. Well, there it is. And I know, well, I'm 99% sure I'm right, because Niagara-on-the-Lake reported what they got, and they own 25% of Niagara Regional Broadband. Their cut was $15 million. We own 75%. Our cut is $40 million. There you go, $45 million. That's what we saw there. So this is why you look at this stuff, and I'm surprised the counselors never got up and asked any questions. It blows my mind. And it means they didn't look through it. If they would have noticed it. Why do I notice these things? I'm not even on council. I'm not an accountant. I've never been trained to be an accountant. But I noticed this. And I would ask the question, where did this $43 million come from? And they would answer it. But nobody asked the question. Hey, you elected them. Now live with them. Make better decisions. We're in a positive situation in the fiscal year. Where's the money? Where does it go? They just explain how they operate. Strikes me as a bizarre way to do all this. Increase our taxes when they may not need increasing, using goofy predictions rather than actual numbers. Oh, what happens if the casino money isn't there anymore? Oh, what happens if the development money isn't there anymore? What happens if a meteor hits us? Well, it already did, across the street. I mean, come on. What if? What if? We don't run on what ifs. We have actual numbers and we have actuals. For 30 years, the casino's been there. 18 months it was closed because of the provincial government made a big mistake. But other than that, we've got the money every year. Sure, they can stop it. And if they do, then we just sit down and readjust things. We figure it out. Anything can happen. But you go by the track record, and for 30 years, 18 months out of 30 years, we didn't get any money from the casino because the provincial government shut it down. Anything can happen. But you go by experience. You go by track record. That's the way you got to do it, to make it fair. The bottom line here is the bottom line. If we're losing money on parking and it appears to be just a make work program for Friends of City Hall or whatever, why are we not leasing these lots out to private enterprise and letting someone else pay for them? And the city takes a plus on the revenue side for them. We don't run them, but we get paid not to run them. By charging a fee to lease plus other charges for upkeep based on square footage, like a common area maintenance charge type of thing, we can only rid ourselves of patrolling the lots for parking violations, and we can rid ourselves of the ongoing costs for technology personnel, policing, and ongoing costs associated with running a parking lot. While taking in a monthly fee on a lease from a private operator to run the business, it only makes sense if we're continually losing money. I mean, you can look it over, see what you think, see if you understand it. It's all there in the numbers. That's the way I see it. I mean, this stuff, seriously, this stuff isn't rocket science. Every one of you out there could do what I'm doing. Seriously, this is just looking at stuff and making sense out of it and trying to. Okay, on a side note, before I go for this beautiful Finally Friday, St. Catherine's Council sat down, sharpened their pencils, assessed their needs, and came in with a slim 1.74% increase in their operating budget in the money that they're going to spend. And in that money, there's $500,000 for a winter control pilot program to improve snow clearing, and another $500,000 earmarked for value for money audits. Doge, if you will. Bam. Look at ways the city can decrease overall costs or improve overall services without raising taxes. And this is something we really need in Niagara Falls. We really, really need this because we are spendthrifts. So without $20 million from the casino, St. Catherine's, the mayor, Matt Cisco, has accomplished a 1.74% increase. We can't do that. And we get $20 million that they don't get. Free money. And Matt Cisco did the right thing. He warned people that their 1.74 budget was just for the city. We're still going to have to deal with the region. He was looking for a 10% increase, even though they capped their increases at 3.5%. And to get to the 3.5% they promised, they need $34.8 million. Let's see where they're going to come up with. Let's see what they're going to come up with. But congratulations for them to holding at the 1.74%. I mean, we should be able to do that in Niagara Falls. We should be able to do zero, to be honest with you. Okay, that's it for today. We're reaching 1 o'clock here. Monday, Dave Wheeler and I will tackle the council agenda, getting ready for the capital budget meeting on Tuesday. I did take a preliminary look at the agenda today, and basically the mayor will present the parking budget I talked about and then head into the capital budget. And that's going to take up most of the meeting. There will be some interest in the library capital budget, which is also on the agenda. Dave and I we're going to tackle everything on Monday. Tune in if you want the lowdown. And I'll report back to you on Thursday's show about what happened at the Tuesday meeting. The meeting's Tuesday at 4 o'clock. So I'll give you the lowdown on Tuesday or on Thursday about the Tuesday meeting, capital budget meeting. And over the next few weeks, I want to get a few people into the studio, particularly Al McKay from the Property Taxpayers Alliance, to comment on the St. Catherine's budget, the Niagara Falls budget, the region budget, as we move through to the end of November and get into December. And the American Thanksgiving's coming up. Black Friday's coming up. Oh, boy. This year went fast. Gosh, we're at the end of the month and only a month to go. Gee, what is it today? The 21st? And 9 more days and 29 and 20, another 33 days to Christmas, believe it or not. Believe it or not. One thing I'm going to do too, before the next election, I'm going to go with the sheets that I have on the city councilors when I interviewed them. We'll talk about some of the things that they said they wanted to do and compare them. And we're also going to do the Diamonds in Coal show before Christmas, where we rate the performance of city councilors over the past year. Always a great show, Diamonds in Coal. See if we can get in to dole out the diamonds or the coal in the Christmas stockings. Anyway, everybody, have a great weekend. Stay safe. It's supposed to be some nice weather, so enjoy it. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamill Machine Company, and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They're great, great corporate citizens. They do a good job in town, and they sponsor the show and sponsor a lot of events in Niagara Falls. We have to support our small business. That's something we definitely want to do. And that's about it for me. I'm getting out of here and do some stuff on outside on a nice day like today. Why not, right? It's good. I really want to cut the lawn, but I don't know if I'm going to have the I don't know if I'm going to do that today, but I should really. Give it one more cut in November. Can you imagine? That's how nice the weather is out here. Take care, everybody. God bless you all. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from 4680Q. Keep the faith, everybody. Promises made, promises kept. See you on Monday. And you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen on Your City, Your Voice. I got the Meteor Crater Report coming every day. Fix those fences, City Council. Ciao, ciao.